I
What do you
speak
speak?
I speak Turkish.
Okay, there you go. Yes. So when we ask you a question, we want you to give a long answer.
Mhm.
Okay? For
Okay.
example, is the pen black? Can you
Yes.
answer?
No, this pen is white.
Okay. Your answer is correct. However, it's short. To make it long, you say, no, the pen isn't black, it's white. The
Okay.
longer your answer is, the better it is for you because you get to use the English as much as possible.
Okay.
Yes. We don't want to give you time to think in your language. So after the second question, we answer together. That is from the beginning of the answer until the end.
Okay.
Teachers use contractions in the question, so you should also try to use contractions in your answers. We do not say, where is the book? But we say, where's the book? And
Mhm.
you should answer, the book's on the table and not the book is on the table. Contraction is more natural in spoken English.
Mhm.
In this method, we do a lot of corrections. We correct your grammar and pronunciation, but in a very different way. We repeat your mistake and then give you the correct pronunciation or grammar. For example, I have here a word. Please read this word.
Pleasant. Pleasant. Pleasant.
Again?
Pleasant.
Okay, not pleasant. We say pleasant.
Pleasant.
Pleasant. Yes, the z sound. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Another question. What's this?
This is a pen.
Okay. This is a pen, or this is, you could say it's a pen.
Okay.
Yes. We do teach you grammar here in the CALLAN method lesson, but we don't give exercises, but we practice with questions and corrections. Okay? So
Okay.
there are four main parts of the of the lesson. We have revision, we
Mm-hmm.
mean review. You have your new work,
Mm-hmm.
reading, and
Mm-hmm.
dictation.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. So if you can see, you have here in your screen, these are the things you will see often in stages 1 to 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We
Yes.
call them the Brown family.
Yeah, I know.
Yes. You know them. Good.
Yeah, yeah, I know that.
Yes. So I guess you know now how the method works and how it can help you improve your English. Now let's continue your lesson.
Okay.
Okay. Do you get up late? Do you get up late? Yes, no.
No,
I
no,
don't get
I,
up late.
I don't get up late.
I get up
I get
early.
up early.
Do the students generally come into the classroom later than the teacher? Do the students generally come into the classroom later than the teacher? No, the
No,
students
the students
don't generally come
don't generally come
into the classroom
into the classroom
later than the teacher.
later than the teacher.
They generally come
They,
into
gen-
the classroom
they generally come into the classroom
earlier than she does.
earlier than she does.
Who gets up the earliest in your family? Who gets up the earliest in your family? My
My brother
gets up the
gets up
earliest
the earliest
in my
in,
family.
in my family.
Who gets up the latest in your family? Who gets up the latest in your family? My
My father
gets up the latest
gets up the latest
in my family.
in my family.
Is it light during the night? Is it light during the night? No, it isn't light
No, it isn't light
during the night.
during the night.
It's dark during the night.
It's dark during the night.
Yes. Is it dark in there now? Is it dark in there now? No, it isn't dark.
No, it isn't dark
In here now,
in here now.
it's light.
It's light.
Can you see in the dark? Can you see in the dark? No, I can't see
No,
in the
I
dark.
can't see in the dark.
Do you live near a station? Do you live near a station? Yes, no.
No,
I don't live near
I
a
don't
station.
live near a station.
I live far from a
I
station.
I live far from a station.
Is the station far from there? Is the station far from there? Yes, the station
Yes, the station
is far from here.
is far from here.
What's a millionaire? What's a millionaire? A millionaire is a person
A millionaire is a person
who has £1 million or
who,
more.
who has £1 million, pounds or a more
Or more.
or more.
Tell me the names of some millionaires, please. Tell me the names of some millionaires, please. The names
The names
of some millionaires
of
are
some millionaires are mm, Bill
Bill
Gates
Gates.
and Jeff Bezos.
Okay, I don't know him. Have you got as much money as a millionaire? Have you got as much money as a millionaire? No, I haven't got
No, I haven't got
as much money
as much money
as a millionaire.
as a millionaire.
I've got
I've
less money
I've got less money
than a millionaire.
than a millionaire.
Is Mount Everest very high? Is Mount Everest very high? Yes, Mount Everest's
Yes, Mount Everest
very high.
very high.
Are there very few people in China? Are there very few people in China? No, there aren't.
No, there aren't
Very few people in
very
China.
very few people in China.
There are
There are
very many people in China.
very many people in China.
Good. Is it very cold in Africa? Is it very cold in Africa? No, it isn't very cold.
No, it isn't very cold
In Africa,
in Africa.
it's very hot in
It's
Africa.
it's very hot in Africa.
Is Japan very near England? Is Japan very near England? No, Japan
No, Japan
isn't very near England.
isn't very near England.
It's very far from
It,
England.
it's very far from England.
Do you get up very early? Do you get up very early? No, I don't get up
No, I don't get up
very early.
very early.
I get up
I get up
late.
late.
Do you speak English very well? Do you speak English very well? No, I don't speak English
No, I don't speak English
very well,
very well,
but I speak it
but I speak it
well enough.
well enough.
What message do we generally write inside a Christmas card? What message do we generally write inside a Christmas card? The message
The message
we generally write
we generally write
inside a Christmas card
inside a Christmas card
is a Merry Christmas
is a Merry Christmas
and a Happy New Year.
and a Happy New Year.
What does the word merry mean in Turkish? What does the word merry mean in Turkish? The word merry
The word Merry
means
means eğlenmek in
in
Turkish.
Turkish. Are people generally merry if they drink a lot of wine? Are people generally merry if they drink a lot of wine? Yes, people
Yes, people
are generally merry
are generally merry
if they drink a lot of wine.
if they drink a lot of wine.
What does the word happy mean in Turkish? What does the word happy mean in Turkish? The word happy means
The word happy means mutlu
in
in Turkish.
Turkish. Do you feel sad when you go on holiday? Do you feel sad when you go on holiday? No, I don't feel sad
No, I don't feel sad
when I go on holiday.
when I go on holiday.
I feel happy.
I feel happy.
Are my hands apart? Are my hands apart? No, your hands aren't apart.
No, your hands aren't apart.
Not aren't.
Okay, no, your hands aren't
Aren't apart.
aren't apart.
They're together.
They're together.
Good. Do you live apart from your family? Do you live apart from your family? Yes, no.
Yes,
I live
I live
apart from my family.
apart from my family.
Are you in that room together with other people? Are you in that room together with other people? Yes, I'm in this room
Yes, I'm in this room
together with other people.
together with other people.
What do you eat for your lunch apart from meat? What do you eat for your lunch apart from meat? I eat bread.
I eat bread,
vegetables, etc.
vegetables, etc.
for my lunch
for my lunch,
apart from meat.
apart from it,
From meat.
from meat.
Yes. Do you study anything apart from English? Do you study anything apart from English? Yes, no.
No,
I don't study anything
I don't study anything
apart from English.
apart from English.
Is there or apart from me, is anybody in this room standing? Apart from me, is anybody in this room standing? No, apart from you,
No, apart from you,
nobody in that room
nobody in that room
is standing.
is standing.
Who lives in your flat apart from you? Who lives in your flat apart from you?
My friend,
Live in my flat.
my friend live in my flat,
Lives in my flat
lives in my flat,
apart from me.
apart from me.
Do you speak English better than Turkish? Do you speak English better than Turkish? No, I don't speak English
No, I don't speak English
better than Turkish.
better than Turkish.
I speak it
I
worse
speak it worse
than Turkish.
than Turkish.
Do you think Turkey is a worse place to live in than the North Pole? Do you think Turkey is a worse place to live in than the North Pole? No, I don't think.
No, I don't think
Turkey is a worse place
Turkey is a worse place
to live in than the North Pole.
to live in than the North Pole.
I think it's a better place
I think it's a better place
to live in than the North Pole.
to live in than the North Pole.
Is a Suzuki a better car than a Rolls Royce? Is a Suzuki a better car than a Rolls Royce? No, a Suzuki
No, a Suzuki
isn't a better car
isn't a better car
than a Rolls Royce.
than a Rolls Royce.
It's a worse car
It's a worse car
than a Rolls Royce.
than a Rolls Royce.
Is the cinema A worse cinema than the cinema B? Is the cinema A worse cinema than the cinema B? No, the cinema A
No, the cinema A
isn't a worse cinema
isn't a worse cinema
than the cinema B.
than the cinema B.
It's a better cinema
It's a better cinema
than the cinema B.
than the cinema B.
Good. When do we use capital letters? When do we use capital letters? We use capital letters
They use capital letters
at the beginning of a sentence
at the beginning of the sentence
for the pronoun I
for the pronoun I
and for the first letter
and for the first
for the
letter
of people's names,
of people's names,
place names,
place names,
days of the week,
days of the week,
months of the year,
months of the year,
nationalities, and languages.
nationalities, and languages.
Where do you think's the best place in your country to live? Where do you think's the best place in your country to live? I think
I think Antalya
is the best place
is the best place
in my country to live.
in my country to live.
Which do you think's the worst day of the week? Which do you think's the worst day of the week? I think
Monday
is the worst day
is
of
the
the week.
worst day of the week.
What was your best subject at school? What was your best subject at school?
History
Was my best subject
was my best subject
at school.
at school.
What was your worst subject at school? What was your worst subject at school?
Mathematics
Was my worst subject
was my worst subject
at school.
at school.
What kind of games do you like the best? What kind of games do you like the best? The kind of games
The kind of games
I like the best are
I like the best are tennis and basketball.
do children like playing games? Do children like playing games? Yes, children like
Yes.
playing games.
Yes, children like playing games.
Tell me the name of a card game. Tell me the name of a card game. The name
The name
of a card game
of a card game
is poker.
is poker.
Yes. Name me some games in which we use a ball, please. Name me some games in which we use a ball, please. Some games
Some games
in which we use a ball
in which we use a ball
are football,
are football,
tennis,
tennis,
rugby,
rugby,
golf,
golf,
baseball, etc.
baseball, etc.
Okay. What's the difference between to look at and to watch? What's the difference between to look at and to watch? The difference between
The difference between
to look at and to watch
to look at and to watch
is that
is that
we use to look at
we used to look at
for something that is still,
for something that is still,
whilst we use to watch,
whilst we to use
we,
to
u-
watch,
we use to watch
we used to watch
for something that is moving.
for something that is moving.
Moving. Yes. Look at my hand, please. What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm looking at your hand.
I am looking at your hand.
Now watch my hand, please. What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm watching your hand.
I am watching your hand.
Is it right to say I'm watching that picture? Is it right to say I'm watching that picture? No, it isn't right to say
No, it isn't right to say
I'm watching that picture.
I am watching that picture
Why not? Why not? Because that picture's still.
because that pictures still.
What must I say instead? What must I say instead? You must say
You must say
you're looking at the picture instead.
you're looking at the picture instead.
Is it right to say we'll look at a game of football? Is it right to say we'll look at a game of football? No, it isn't right to say
No, it isn't right to say
we'll look at a game of football.
we look at a game
Of
foot-
football.
of football
Why not? Why not? Because a game of football
because
moves.
because a game of
A game
football
of football moves.
moves.
What must we say instead? What must we say instead? We must say
We must say
we watch a game of football
we,
instead.
we watch a game football instead.
Do you like watching television? Do you like watching television? Yes, no.
No,
I don't like
I,
watching
I don't
television.
like watching television.
Okay, so that will be all for the revision. Now let's continue with your new work. Repeat buy.
Buy,
Okay, so listen. The word buy is a verb. To buy means to get something from a shop in exchange of money. For example, I buy food from a shop near where I live. Or we buy clothes at a clothes shop. Buy. Where do you buy your food? Where do you buy your food? I buy my food
I buy my food
from a shop
from a shop
near where I live.
near where I live.
Can we buy apples at a shoe shop? Can we buy apples at a shoe shop? No, we can't buy apples
No, we can't buy apples
at a shoe shop.
at a shoe shop.
Yes, repeat. Gerund.
Gerund,
Preposition plus noun.
preposition plus noun.
Okay, so listen. A gerund is a noun that we make by putting the letters ing at the end of a verb. For example, speaking, eating, coming, etc. In English, after a preposition, we use a noun. For example, on the table, after the lesson. If we want to say an action after a preposition, we use the gerund, not the infinitive. For example, we say for buying, after eating, etc. Do we use the gerund or the infinitive after a preposition? Do we use the gerund or the infinitive after a preposition? We use the gerund
We use the gerund
after a preposition.
after a preposition.
Give me some examples, please. Give me some examples, please. Before coming,
Before coming,
after taking,
after taking,
for buying, etc.
for buying, etc.
What is a gerund? What is a gerund? A gerund is a noun
A gerund is a noun
that we make
that we make
by putting the letters ing
by putting the letters ing
at the end of a verb,
at the end of the word.
not the a verb
At the end of
of a verb.
ever
Verb.
verb.
Yes. Which do you think's the best shop in this town for buying men's clothes? Which do you think's the best shop in this town for buying men's clothes? I think
I think X company, X store,
is the best shop
best job
in this town
in this town
for buying men's clothes.
for buying men's clothes.
Yes. What do you do before coming to school each day? What do you do before coming to school each day? I eat breakfasts,
I eat breakfast,
speak to my friends, etc.
speak
To my friends
speak to my friends, etc.
before coming to school each day.
before coming to school each day.
Are you good at playing football? Are you good at playing football? Yes, no.
No,
I'm not good
I'm not good
at playing football.
at playing football.
I'm bad at
I,
playing football.
I am bad at playing
Playing
football.
football. Okay. Repeat beside,
Beside,
besides,
besides,
walk,
walk
anymore.
anymore.
Okay, listen. The difference between beside and besides is that beside means next to, whereas besides means apart from. For example, the pen is beside the book. I eat vegetable besides bread, meat, etc. Beside, besides. What's the difference between beside and besides? What's the difference between beside and besides? The difference between
The difference between
beside and besides is that
beside and besides is that
beside means next to,
beside means next to,
whereas besides means apart from.
whereas besides uh,
Means apart from.
means apart from.
From, yes. Give me an example of each, please. Give me an example of each, please. I am sitting
I am sitting
beside the table.
beside the table.
Mr. Brown speaks French
Mr. Brown speaks French
besides English.
besides English.
Who's sitting beside me? Who's sitting beside me? Nobody's sitting beside
Nobody,
you.
nobody sitting beside you.
Is Paris beside the sea? Is Paris beside the sea? No, Paris
No,
isn't
Paris
beside the sea.
isn't beside the sea.
It's inland.
It's inland.
Okay, now put both your hands on the table, one beside the other. What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm putting
I am
both my
put,
hands
I am putting both my hands
on the table,
on the table,
one beside the other.
one beside the other.
What do you do in the evening besides watching television? What do you do in the evening besides watching television? I go for a walk,
I go for a walk,
I read, etc.
I read, etc.
in the evening
In the evening,
besides watching television.
besides watching television.
How many floors are there in that building besides that one? How many floors are there in that building besides that one? There are
There are two floors
floors in this building
in this building
besides this one.
besides this one.
Okay, so we're going to stop here.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to write your assessment so you can continue on page 172. Okay?
Okay.
Yes. So
Thank you.
thank you and see you. Bye
See
bye,
you.
Mehmet.
Bye bye. See you. Thank you.